I tried the most cushioned shoe from New Balance. I bought a pair of the New Balance Fresh Foam More V5. And after testing out these shoes for the last several weeks, what did I learn? Well, lots, and we're gonna get into it. But first, the most noticeable thing about these shoes is they look like some big ass moon boots. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a shoe that'll make you just a tad bit taller for your next date, this is that shoe. It'll give you 2 inches easy. Just remember, at some point, you're gonna have to take them off. And don't say I didn't warn you. To be fair, the New Balance More V5 may not actually be the most cushioned shoe. Cushion is a feeling and is subjective, but what the More V5 definitely are is the shoe that contains the most New Balance Fresh Foam material. The More V5 is a chunky shoe, but what advantages and disadvantages does the extra thick shoe sole provide? What do I think the shoe is best for? And most importantly, are the New Balance Fresh Foam More V5 worth it? The More V5 released in October of last year and currently run about $155 USD. So they're not cheap, but they are priced competitively with shoes of a similar caliber from other brands. Now, I'm a fan of max cushion shoes, and when it came to selecting a shoe from New Balance, I was torn between the More V5s and the even more popular 1080s. Ultimately, I was impressed by the design and feel of the More V5 and decided to go big. And big is exactly what it is. The first thing that I noticed is the More V5 are plush, but they're not too soft or mushy in my opinion. The shoe sole is super thick, measuring a full 2 3/8 inches from the ground. Now, that makes sense if you're on the English system, and that's approximately 5 centimeters if you're backwards and use the metric system. So uncivilized. As a result, you will feel the distance between your foot and the ground. But instead of the distance making you feel uneasy, the design of the shoe still allows you to feel connected. And ultimately, the More V5s provide a very smooth ride while walking. I enjoy the More V5s for running, but they aren't my favorite for this task. While I do like the cushion and think they do a great job of impact absorption, I'm still aware of the large size of the shoe on my feet. And although my size 11 weighs in at just 11.9 ounces, so they aren't very heavy, but still, they feel clunky to me while running. I don't feel that they're bad for running, but I just like them better for walking, and I find them especially great for walking long distances. Also, I don't feel that the heel to toe drop is too significant, and as a result, I think the More V5s work out well for standing. Lots of times, shoes with big drops kind of feel like you're leaning forward to me, and that really isn't a problem with the More V5s. The upper is breathable, but it also feels thick, and at some point, it's 2-ply, and it's kind of surprising that the upper doesn't add more weight. Not everyone is gonna like the thickness of the shoe sole, point blank, period. But personally, I like the thick layer of foam and feel like the shoe sole is well designed so it doesn't feel too crazy in spite of how big the shoe soles are. The combination of the mesh upper and the hugely thick layer of foam underfoot provide for a lush wearing experience, and the shoe smooths out walking over almost any terrain. But I think where the New Balance More V5 shine the brightest is managing long days on your feet. And for that, they are my favorite. If you have a job that demands lots of standing or walking, I think the More V5 will make an outstanding shoe for minimizing foot pain and foot fatigue. Are the New Balance More V5s worth it? Well, first, I have to say, I think many of these higher end running shoes are overpriced, and that's across the board, any brand. But that aside, yes, absolutely think they're worth it. Thanks for watching. I really hope this was helpful. Until the next one, fitness and beer. Get out of here.